Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. Today we are going to start a new scenario of Rahman Digital Production, and that is mathematics. We will talk about the mathematics of GCE, and we will do the D series. So if somebody is having this book, then they are well on their way to follow me. If you can find this book, because in this total course, which is a very long course, not short one, so there are 42 topics, we have to cover all of them. The first topic we will cover is, as you can see on the whiteboard, that is numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know that GCE stands for General Certificate of Education. That is the course of Cambridge. That is the course of Cambridge. Now there is another way as well, and that is IGCSE, International General Certificate of Secondary Education. Everyone have their views, everyone is having their own views, but in my view 99% both the courses are the same. So GCE student as well as IGCSE student can take advantage of it. Before going into the detail of the course, let me remind you that if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel and click the bell icon so that you will be notified when I upload a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, mathematics is the game of numbers. If you are not understanding the basic concept of numbers, you will never understand mathematics. That is why Cambridge International has put this number as a first topic. We will give an in-depth look to the numbers. There are numbers which is called complex numbers. All the numbers inside this world is coming in the category of complex number. Complex number are of two types. One is called real numbers and the second one is called imaginary number. The second one is called imaginary numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not talking about the imaginary numbers because this is not the scope of O-level. We are discussing about the real numbers. Imaginary number, as its name indicates, they are imaginary, they are not physically exist. So we are talking about the real numbers. Real numbers are of two types. One is called rational numbers and the second one is called irrational number. The first one is called rational number and the second one is called irrational numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, those numbers which can be written in the form of P over Q. Q is known as the quotient. Q is known as the quotient. which should not be equal, which will never be equal to 0. If a number is divided by 0, so it is undefined. That is why I am saying that this q will not be equal to 0. So any number which is written in the form of p over q is called, for example, you can say that if I am writing a number as 5 over 3, this is called rational numbers. And then in rational number, we are having the category of whole numbers. But we are writing that there are integers, positive integer, I should say, positive integer. Okay, before that, I am coming to the irrational number. Those number which cannot be written in the form of p over q, then they are called irrational numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, rational word is taken from ratio. Ratio means, for example, if you are writing 5 over 3, so this can be written as 5 ratio 3. So this is a rational number. 5 ratio 3. This is a rational number which can be written in the form of p over q. We can consider this is a p and this is a q. So this is the denominator and this is the numerator. Okay, there is 0. 0 is also a number. And there is negative integer. There is negative integer. Negative integers are represented by putting a negative sign before the numbers. For example, minus 3, minus 15. And positive integer is written without any symbol. For example, 35 and 530. These are positive integers. Integers means without decimal numbers. They are technically known as whole numbers. Whole numbers are those numbers which can be seen without the decimal. If there is a decimal, then they are not called integer. Okay, 0 is also on this. An Indian person has worked on it a lot and he discovered that 0 is also a number. So there are positive integer and there are negative integer. Now, whole numbers are those numbers which is starting from 0 and going towards the right and going towards the infinity. Whole number can be either odd numbers or even numbers. Odd numbers and even numbers. Odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7 and even number is 2, 4, 6 and 8. These are called the even number. Now I given you this particular explanation because I am coming towards my topic, and that is the prime number and prime numbers and The second, these are also the whole number. One is called the whole, this is the type of whole numbers which is having only two factors. One is the 1 and the second one itself. One is the 1, yani these sort of numbers can be divided only by 1 and on itself. The second type of whole number is composite number. Composite numbers. This is also whole number which is having two factors, 1 and itself. If a number is having more than two factors, then they are called composite number. This is also the type of whole number. Prime number is starting from 2 and 3, 5, 7, 11, 13 and so on. All these numbers can be divided by only 1 and on itself. So they are called prime numbers. Now 9 is a composite number because it can be divided by 1, it can be divided by 3 and it can be divided by 9. So it means that the 9 is a composite number. There are two types of whole number, that is prime number and composite numbers. The smallest prime number is 2, and then you have 1 is not. Let me ask you a question. 0 and 1, they are neither composite number and nor the prime number, because they are not having 0 is not there. But what about 1? 1 is having only one factor, that is 1, because it is itself 1 as well. So 0 and 1 are neither the composite number nor the prime number. Okay, let me ask you another question, and that is, if a number is odd, it should also be a prime number? No, it is not like this, because 9 is odd number and it is a composite number as well. So it is not a prime number. It is not a prime number. Okay, the reverse is possible. If a number is a prime number, it should be an odd number. No, it is also not possible, because 2 is a prime number and it is not. 2 is a prime number. You can see it from here, but it is not an odd number. So both the possibility are not there. If a number is prime, it doesn't mean it will be an odd. If a number is odd, it doesn't mean that it will be a prime number. So keep these things in mind. Now, because the first question of exercise number 1 is also that whether this number is prime or not. How you will find that a number is prime or not? For example, on page number 21 of this book, it is given that whether the following numbers are prime or not. Whether the following numbers are prime or not. They given the first number is what? It is not on 24 because 24 is given the 1B. So we are talking about the page number 13. Okay, sorry for that. Page number 13. It is given the first question. We are doing exercise 1A. Exercise 1A. Ladies and gentlemen, the first question is saying that whether the following number is a prime number or not. I will tell you a technique how to find this, whether this 87 is a prime number or not. You can't check by every number. It is not divisible by this, it is not divisible by this, it is not divisible by 19, it is not divisible by 20, it is not divisible. How many times? This is a small number, but if there is a number in 1000, how you will understand that whether this number is prime number or not? For that, I have to tell you divisibility rule. First, you must understand the divisibility rules. For example, 1 is divisible by 1. Then it comes to the 2. Whether 87 is divisible by 2. So there are rules that how you will see. You have to see the last digit of that number. You have to see the last digit of that number. If it is 0, or even number, then that number will be divisible by 2. Can this 87 be divided by 2? No, it is not, because 7 is an odd number. 7 is an odd number. So it is not divisible by 2. Okay, how we will check that whether this small number 87, we are not talking about the large number, is divisible by 3. So there is a rule for divisibility of this as well. If 8 plus 7, which is equal to 15, is divisible by 3, yani this result is divisible by 3, then it means that the whole number is divisible by 3. For example, if I am saying that 195 is divisible by 3 or not, so you have to 1 plus 9 plus 5, which is equal to 15. Again 15 is divisible by 3. So it means that 195 is divisible by 3. There is a rule for divisibility of 4. So if the last two numbers, of a number, the last two digits, I should say, of a number is divisible by 4, then the whole number is divisible by 4. Then the whole number is divisible by 4. Let me give you an example. For example, if there is 5916, you don't have to take out the calculator and check, because in paper 1 of GCE of Cambridge examination, calculator is not allowed. So what you will do? You will have to take the last two digits of this. Is it divisible by 4? Yes, because it is coming in the table of 4. 4 fours are 16. So it means that the whole number is divisible by 4. Now what is the rule of divisibility for 5? If the last digit, if the last digit of a number is 0 or 5, then that number is divisible by 5. For example, if I am writing 5690, because the last digit is 0, so without going into the detail, you have to think that 5690 is equal to is divisible by 5. What is the divisibility rule for 6? If a number is divisible by 2 and 3, then the number is divisible by 6. For example, 24 is a number. I'm taking a very simple example just for the sake of concept. This number is divisible by 2. We saw the rule for 2. The last number is even number, so yes, it is divisible by. For 3, we also use the rule, and that is 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. 6 is also divisible by 3. Yani this 24 is divisible by 2 and 3, so it must be divisible by 6 as well. Now for 7 there is a difficult rule. If we double the last digit of a number and subtract it from the rest of digits, and the result is divisible by 7, then the whole number will be divisible by 7. Then the whole number is divisible by 7. Let me give you an example. I told you at the beginning that this is a bit complicated, but not that much complicated. For example, let me check 182, whether this number is divisible by. So we have to double this first number, which will be 4, and we have to subtract it then from 18. And from 18 minus 4, this is 14. 14 is divisible by 7. Yes, it is divisible by 7, because 14 is coming in the table of 7. So it means that the whole number is divisible by 7. Now there is a rule for 8. And the rule is, if the last three digits are divisible by 8, then the whole number is divisible by 8. Then the whole number is divisible by 8. 6960. You have to take these three numbers. If it is divisible by 8, then it means that the whole number, as much long the number is, it will be divisible by 8. You check this, that whether 960 divide by 8 ones are 8, 1, 8 twos are 16, and this 0 will go upward. So it means that this is totally divisible by what? By 8. So it means that the whole number is divisible by 8. Next one is for 9. Wherever on the whiteboard I get the place, then I will write it there. The main purpose is that you should understand it. Okay. The same rule for 3. If a number is divisible by 9, if the sum of the number, I should say, if the sum of all the digits, just like 3, of a number, if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 9, then the whole number will be divisible by 9. Then the whole number will be divisible by 9. Let me give you an example. For example, 18,727. Let us take this example. We have to add all the numbers, 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 2 plus 7, 9, 16, 18, 25. Whether 25 is divisible by 9? No. If 25 is not divisible by 9, so it means that this whole number is not divisible by 9. Similarly, rule for 10. If the last digit is 0, then the number is divisible by 10. For example, 100, 150. If the last digit of a number is 0, then it means that the whole number is divisible by. Now I given you the concept of this divisibility rule because if you want to check the first question, 87, whether it is a prime number, I told you that prime number are those numbers which are divisible by 1 and on itself. So 87 can be divided by 1. In fact, every number can be divided by 1. and 87 also. We have to find that whether any other rule is applicable on this. Let me check it for 2. Because the last number is odd number, so it means that this is not, so far it is prime number, but let us check it further. Now we have to check for 3. 8 plus 7 is equal to 15. 15 is divisible by 3. So it means 87 is not a prime number because it can be divided by 3. We don't have to check the other then. If 1 instead of itself and 1 there is another number, then you have to do what? You have to say that this is a prime number, but if it is divisible by any other number, it means that this is the composite number. Okay, that was the first. Now the second part is saying 67. If you check these number, I given you the concept, and if you are not understanding by any means, then you can revise this video and understand this rule. If you are not understanding the rule, then it means that you will never find that whether it is divisible, and you can't check it by one number till 67, that whether it is divisible by all the numbers or not. So check it and then tell me that whether I am telling you that 67 is a prime number. It is not divisible by any other number. The C part is saying, the C part is saying that 73. 73 is a prime number or not? Yes, it is a prime number because it is not divisible by any other number than what? Then 1 and 73. Then 93 is, 91 is. Now D part is saying 91. So it means 91 is not a prime number because it is divisible by 7 and 13. Ladies and gentlemen, there are rules for 11, 12, 13, 14. But in this short period of time, I can't. I given you the basic concept. You can explore the net, Google, and then you can find the divisibility rule for 11, 12, 13 as well. So 7, how I say that this is divisible? I quickly guessed it that it is divisible by 7. How? 9 and 1. You have to double this. 2, and then you have to subtract it from 9. 7. 7 is divisible by 7. So it means that the whole number is divisible by 7. And there, if it is divisible by 7, we don't have to check it on the 13. We don't have to check it on the 13. So this was the first question. In the first lecture, I given you the basic concept of numbers, that is prime numbers, and the composite number. So for today, this is enough. But if you want to support me and encourage me, then share this video with your friends. And if you not subscribe the channel, please subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon so that you will get the notification as soon as I upload the video. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.